don't wanna be an American lady.
Like, if you're a small diner in a town, your profit margins are already super slim, right? It's not like you're balling out of control, and so you probably can't afford to pay much more than what you pay.
There's this misunderstanding about how minimum wage works. And I think if you live in a large city that's incredibly wealthy and has a very high cost of living, then the minimum wage federally currently is certainly not enough to live off of.
Right.
Right. And I think that for much of the experience of the people in control of the media, in control of a lot of the aspects of our lives, that is their reality. But I think there's another whole section of the country that lives, you know, as you said, the rural diner as the example,
Right.
that I think has a very valid pushback to it, and because only one side of the situation is being aired across the media,
Right.
you know, when you look at something like the suburbs, or more realistically outside of that, cost of living is next to nothing, and so people can live more or less happily-ish off of $45,000 to $60,000 a year. You know, I was talking to the owner of a jerky and seasoning shop. What a niche to be in. It's a small family-owned business, but in a city like Lincoln, the high-end rents there are like, you know, $1,200, $1,500 a month.
No, like 700 to 900.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can be in a state capital, in arguably one of the two economic hubs of the entire state, and be paying, you know, on the high end $700-900 a month in rent, and be living the, you know, the luxurious life, it puts into perspective the difference of the economies of scale that we're talking about. What you have is the federal government trying to regulate something at a national level that is clearly a regional issue, because we're trying to guarantee a base level standard of living. And minimum wage doesn't guarantee that, because it requires the recognition of the cost of living being different in the situations, which is not the case here.
So you would argue the approach is probably to have minimum wage set regionally, right?
Like an index. I don't know why an index isn't used.
Yeah, I actually tend to agree with the idea of setting an index based on different factors, and they could hire smarter people than me to figure that piece of it out.
You and me both.
Yeah.